Seriously? Hey guys, and welcome to a long overdue Ork Tactics video from myself, 6+ Stevo. In this one, we are taking a look at this fella, the Big Mech with Shokk Attack Gun. He comes in at 75 points, and his stat line is as follows. Movement 6 inches, toughness 5, 4+ save, 5 wounds, leadership 7+, and an objective control of 1. So far, very standard stuff. He comes equipped with, quite obviously, the Shokk Attack Gun and also a close combat weapon. He is a leader, and he can lead boys, looters, or mech guns. He has the keywords infantry, character, grenades, Big Mech with Shokk Attack Gun. And he has the one option of being assisted by a grot assistant. So let's take a look at this fella. A popular choice amongst most Ork players, particularly those with a shooty list. So let's take a look at the important thing, the Shokk Attack Gun. It has the blast keyword and the heavy keyword. So very useful there, having the blast keyword. That's going to throw on extra damage when he's shooting into squads and units. And the heavy keyword, so it does mean you're going to be wanting this guy to stand still, boosting his ballistic skill. Which isn't bad though, because his ballistic skill is 5+. So if he stays still, he is hitting on 4s, which is pretty tasty for an Ork. It has a range of 60 inches, which is beautiful. Means he can pretty much hit anything, anywhere on the board at any time, provided he's got line of sight. He gets D6 plus 1 attacks, which isn't too shabby. A minimum of 2 attacks, a maximum of 7. We've already done the ballistic skill, 5+. Strength 9, very nice. AP -4, absolutely beautiful. That is really, really nice. And with a damage of D6. So yeah, the Shokk Attack Gun is tasty. Very tasty, actually. Yep, it is a bit random, but that can be helped somewhat with his grot assistant. The grot assistant gives him the ability to re-roll the amount of attacks once per game. It's a one-use item, but yeah, it's going to be nice when you really, really need those shots to pay off. You're targeting something that you have to kill. That's going to be useful to be able to re-roll that. He has the melee weapon, the close combat weapon. We know what that does. I'm not even going to go over that. He's not made for melee, you know, so yeah, you don't really want this guy caught in a fight unless you're, you have no other option. And then he comes with the abilities. More Dakka. While this model is leading a unit, each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack, re-roll a hit roll of 1. So he can lead boys, looters, and mech guns. For the boys, that'll be quite useful. And for the mech guns, that'll be very useful. For the looters, it's completely surplus to requirements because they already have that in their rule anyway. So I think he'd be in a looter squad more out of sort of convenience of protecting him. So he can be sort of mixed in with that unit and not be picked out as a target. Otherwise, I don't see much reason to have him in a unit with the looters. With the boys, again, shooter boys, perhaps. But even then, I don't think so, because even if they are shooter boys, you're going to be wanting them to get stuck in, not sitting at the back of the board, which is probably what you're going to do with this fella. But mech guns, on the other hand, there is a really, really good unit to put this guy with, because re-rolling the ones on those mech gun shots is going to be very nice, and he's going to add his shooting to that squad, so it's going to become a very, very shooty squad. So I do like the fact he can join mech guns. He's got the other ability, Deranged Snotling Assault. In your shooting phase, after this model is shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks. That unit must take a Battleshock test. Very, very cool. But the trouble is, the way Battleshock works, the way it's when you roll for Battleshock, generally at the beginning of turns, means that this guy's going to be causing that during the shooting phase. By the time it gets to their next turn, at the beginning of the turn, they're going to redo all those Battleshock tests anyway and be okay. So it's not going to do a great deal. It's just going to, for the remainder of your turn, prevent that unit using stratagems, which could be useful, and it could ruin your opponent's plans somewhat. But yeah, I think the whole... Oh, they finally found me. But I think... what was I saying? Yeah, I think the way Battleshock tests work needs some refinement. It needs a bit of tweaking. I think they need a little bit of an update to the actual Battleshock rule itself, and then a lot of these units that have special rules to do with Battleshock could become a lot more powerful, I think. Perhaps it could be something like, if you fail a Battleshock test, then you to be able to sort of regroup after it, some negative modifiers or something, I don't know, or just change when Battleshock tests are done or something, I don't know, but it needs tweaking. There's a really, really good powerful rule there, I think, that just with a slight tweaking of the Battleshock rule could make a lot of these units far more effective. But there we go. There is the Big Mech with Shokk Attack Gun. I think he's good. I think he's very, very good, actually. 75 points, I think, is a fair price to pay. He's got a really, really nice shooting attack. He's going to be quite hard to deal with, especially if you keep him at the back of the board, mixed in with another unit. It's going to offer him some protection. He's going to buff that unit. He's going to be firing powerful shots. The enemy's going to want him dead, but he's not going to be easy to get to. If you lay your army out right, you bubble wrap him, you have the other units so people can't deep strike and get close to him. He could be really, really tricksy and annoying to get rid of. Yeah, he's good. He's very, very good indeed. And the miniature's awesome. The miniature, it's an old miniature now. It got updated a while back. These little sort of bits trailing off showing the spinning of this never used to be there on the old one. They added these in later, but I think they're quite cool. And yeah, he's just an awesome miniature. Very fun, very orky, nice and random. Well, look, there you go, guys. That is the Big Mech with Shokk Attack Gun. We've done a lot of Big Mechs now, haven't we? We've done the Mech, we've done the Big Mech. What have we not done yet? Let's move on to next time. I'm just looking at them now. I'll tell you what, next time we're going to go with this guy. The Knob with Wire Banner. Join me on that one, guys. This is 6+ Stevo, signing out.